What it do, YouTube? Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. In today's video, it's going to be just a talking video. Man, these motherfuckers is irritating as hell. This is why I don't do videos in public. I mean, I do them in public, but I'm usually like in a secluded area. There's just too many motherfuckers just talking. Like, shut the fuck up. But anyway, today's video is just gonna be a quick spiritual message. I'm finna chime in with some deep information. First things first, yes, I know it's been a minute. I haven't made one of my talking videos like now. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, like I was saying, I know it's been a minute since I've been actually doing one of my talking videos, because I've actually been creating new content when it comes to YouTube Shorts. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, I'm gonna give you an example before I get into this topic. So, if you paid attention in the last 5 years, right? It started with like, it started with Snapchat. I stopped using Snapchat a long time ago. That shit for police. That shit for 12. I'm not gonna say anybody that used Snapchat is with that shit, but Snapchat is trash, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, dog. But it started with Snapchat when it came to shorts, because at first you was able to do little videos, whatever, and then they actually made it Snapchat Shorts. Like, that's its own thing where you could, watch people little short videos, blah blah blah. And then it went to Facebook, and then it went to Instagram, and then after Instagram picked it up, it went to YouTube. So now they got a thing. It's Facebook Shorts, Instagram Shorts, Snapchat Shorts, YouTube Shorts. So YouTube Shorts is its own thing, even though YouTube is all one collective. It's its own thing, but people just watch YouTube Shorts all day. See if people do, like the same content creators, instead of them doing a 15-minute video or a 30-minute video or a 10-minute video, they do a video for about 3 minutes, doing the same skill or content that they already do. It just had to be a little bit more refined because you only got 3 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So, I've been working on my YouTube Shorts. You see what I'm saying? I told y'all on my birthday, before the new year, I told y'all I got new content that I'm working on. You either believe me or you don't. A lot of y'all didn't. A lot of y'all did. But the funny thing is also that people nowadays, they think that calling somebody a name is supposed to stop them from achieving some type of success or doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your name calling is not going to stop me. It's not going to pull me out of my character. You see what I'm saying? Because people know that I'm about to sign another major deal soon, very soon. And shit, I'm probably going to be moving to North Hollywood too. You know what I'm saying? And you see the demons in the background laughing. This is actually a part of what this video is going to be about. I'm just kind of giving y'all some updates. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people mad. They want to keep me down. They want to keep you stuck. They want to keep you in a bad situation, because that's how I was before I got my first deal. You see what I'm saying? I was going through the shit was even worse than what it is now. You see what I'm saying? But I end up getting $1 million deal. You see what I'm saying? So it's funny how that shit worked. But I learned a lot from that experience. It's a lot of shit I know not to do now, obviously. And it's a lot of stuff I do know what to do. I learned, both ways. You see what I'm saying? But what this video is going to be about, right, is it's going to be about my take on religion and what I really think it is. So today I had an epiphany. I had an eye-opening experience, and it just really made me think and question, like, is really everything they telling us, it got to be reversed. It got to be flipped. It absolutely has to be reversed. It absolutely has to be flipped, because a lot of shit, it just doesn't make sense. It just don't make sense, especially if you actually smart enough to understand what's going on. You see what I'm saying? And then there's another thing too. Like, people always try to like come at people that got a disability or that's disabled. I don't do that type of shit because it's insensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't ask to be like that. But some people that got a disability, they look fairly normal, even though they might be disabled mentally, mentally or physically. You see what I'm saying? But regardless if you disabled mentally or physically, you know what I'm saying, you still have enough common sense to be able to know right from wrong to a certain extent. But then you got some people that's supposed to be fairly born rather normal, but damn near everybody that's born so-called normal. Come on, bro. What the fuck? Man, get these motherfuckers away from me. Like any anybody that's so-called born normal or whatever, they got problems. They damn self. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that because people always try to say like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I was thinking, right? Like, what if everything is actually flipped, reverse, backwards, upside down? Like, literally, what if it is? So, for example, I'm gonna give you an example with the 13th son and shit, right? He was talking about Christianity, and he was talking about how Christians are really the Antichrist. You see what I'm saying? And look, here comes some more people just coming up and shit. But anyway, like I was saying, you see what I'm saying? It's the 13th son, man. Come on, bro, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck? Be all in my video and shit. That's why I'm telling you I don't do videos in public, bro. Like motherfuckers be dick riding too hard, bro. Like for real. Like shut the fuck up. Like keep walking, bitch. I ain't taking care of your kids. The fuck, they ain't mine. You feel me? I'm just saying. Like I'd rather have my own responsibilities and keep trying to deal with somebody else's, because that's what they do. They like to put other shit off on other motherfuckers. But it's funny though. People they really think this shit is insane. They think it's funny, and I'm gonna keep letting them think it's funny because they mental. Like they got something wrong. You see what I'm saying? But it's finna be a lot of things changing, bro. Like I told you, my content is already changing, stuff like that. But anyway, that's man. I really don't want to make this video too long, but I kind of have to, so I gotta explain what's going on. But like the 13th son said a long time ago, that Christians are really the Antichrist because you're really anti yourself. And I didn't really understand that at the time because I was so like brainwashed and blinded by this whole God shit, this whole Jesus stuff like that. And I'm not disrespecting God, nothing like that. But I'm really starting to think that like, obviously it's a higher being, it's a higher creator. Obviously it's an infinite source, that's obvious. But in society they try to put, you know, a picture with a name. They try to put a face to the name. You know, well, when I hear the word God, I would think it would look like something like this. When I hear the word devil, I think it would look something like this. But really, it's just infinite energy. Like Prodigy said, rest in peace, Prodigy. That energy can be tapped into, and you can either harness it for something that's negative, or you can harness it for something that's positive. And the 13th son said it, that everything they tell you, not only in the news, but in the media, same thing as news, is that it needs to be flipped. So if the government say, hey, stay inside your house all day today, don't come outside, do the opposite, go outside and go see what the fuck going on. Because they like to do little shit like that. So they could do little sneaky shit to get around you, stuff like that, right? So now I'm really starting to think, because I started to see so much stuff, and I'm trying to really start to see this, and I'm listening to other people's stories, and I'm just really seeing this shit for myself. And it's like something can't be right. You know, people always try to say, oh, this motherfucker's drunk or something like that. And actually, I'm not. I'm completely sober. They just want to come up with some type of way to discredit you. They have to come up with some type of way to discredit you. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what they doing. I don't give a fuck what you call me, because the one, that's not going to stop me. Two, you wasting your energy and giving it to me. And three, is just like, okay, cool. But the same names you calling me, those same names apply to you, if not worse. You see what I'm saying? Because you most definitely know when they're even close to being half the human I even am. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know when they're close to being the type of person I am. Like, you a complete piece of shit. And it's a lot of different people that it's directed to. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just crazy, bro. The stuff that's been going on, my eyes have been really starting to open to a lot of stuff. And today, this morning, and you know, different parts of the day, I just been noticing shit, and it's been like a sign. Like, what if it's really a sign that like Christians and shit like that? What if the shit was really all fake? Like, and a lot of people been saying this shit for a long time. You know what I'm saying? What if this shit's all really fake? But now I'm really starting to think of it. What if it is fake? It's just all some big Ponzi scheme, or it's all just some big, just something to just distract you. Like, You see these weirdos, but now it's starting to get to the point where it's like I'm really starting to think like, what if Christianity and all these different religions that's supposed to be tied to it, like Catholic, motherfucking Muslim, and all these different things and stuff like that. Muslim saying like it got a little bit more validity to it, but Christianity just seemed like it's all out, and Catholic and Mormonism, it seemed like it's just all bullshit. It's just all like a coven for a cult of witches. So basically what I'm saying is people who are actually real like witches and bad people who really do evil shit, they actually hide behind the title Jesus. They hide behind the title Mormon. They hide behind the title Catholic. They hide behind the title Jesus and all that shit. But really, they got to be more evil than an actual Satanist, because look at the shit that they do. Like, and I was noticing this shit a long time ago, you know, when I was growing up in the church and shit like that. But you don't really know when you're young. But now that I'm an adult and I can see what the fuck going on, this shit is bullshit. And the reason why I say that is because look at everybody who follows, and I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just gonna give you an example. Look at everybody who follows Christianity. Look at everybody who follows Christianity. They all sick, they dying, they don't follow none of the commandments of God, they talk the most shit, they do the most sin, they doing gay shit behind the scenes and all this weird shit, but then got the nerve to pick up the Bible and say Jesus loves us, and regardless of what I do, Jesus said he'll forgive my sins. That's all bullshit, bro. It's just an excuse, just to give you an excuse to do wrong. That's just what I'm starting to see. Because, like, for example, right? Like, I did a video of them like 2 weeks ago where I said, you know, this dude, this older guy who's supposed to be a Christian or whatever, he wanted to take me in and stuff like that, say he could help me, but really he wasn't trying to help me, he was really trying to hurt me. You see what I'm saying? But using the fact of God and Jesus as a way to get in, but then once you actually in, he gonna try to flip the script and do all this shit. And I seen it, because one, how you saying you believe in Jesus and all that shit, but when I went to the church you go to, the pastor talking shit about people. Pastors don't do that. A real pastor don't do that, and you doing it in front of everybody, just talking shit. You're not a real pastor. It costs like what, $15 to get you a 501c3, so anybody could become a pastor. So they got these demonic appointed warlocks and witches that they just hand picking these people and say, you know what, I'm gonna put you in charge of this church, I'm gonna put you in charge of this church, but really it's nothing but witchcraft, right? Excuse me. And witchcraft is different than Satanism, because now I'm really starting to look at Satanism and Luciferianism different. You know what I'm saying? Because from what we are taught, like I said, everybody is taught that you know, Christianity is all this shit. But like I said, what if you flip everything that the government and the system has been saying and really look at it? And shout out to Art Bell, Coast to Coast AM, Coast to Coast Radio. I'm not sure if it's AM, PM, but you know what I mean. Shout out Coast to Coast, Art Bell. You know what I'm saying? He did a podcast a few months ago. It was like at the end of 2025. And the guest that he had on there was Adam LaVey's wife, you know, so the Satanist, the dude who opened up the Church of Satan in California, Adam LaVey, right? He was actually a Satanist, Satanism and all that type of shit. And his wife, that's still alive, she did a podcast with Art Bell on Coast to Coast Radio, you know, the podcast or whatever. And she was basically explaining what Satanism really is. She was saying that we don't really practice in doing evil things to children or to people and stuff like that. Satanism is more like individualism. It's like the worship of yourself. You worship yourself. You do things for yourself. Instead of going out your way and doing stuff for other people, you actually do those things for yourself. That's what I'm actually starting to see what it is. And like I said, that's just the surface level. You know, you got other different people that love factions and shit like that. They might practice, they might say they Satanists, but they operate in Wicca. They operate in this, they operate in that, which is still magic. But like I said, it's evil magic. You see what I'm saying? Because if you a Satanist and you into individualism and selfism, that makes sense. Because look at everybody or anybody you know that's a Christian. Yeah, they say they try to help people and all that, but them same people they help and they talk shit about them too. That's just bad as Satanism. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you saying you helping them, but you talking shit about them. That's just as bad as Satanism. You see what I'm saying? And you do help people and you go out your way to help them and shit like that. But you do that just so you can get validation and say you did it, and just so you could talk shit. That's nowhere near even close to godly. So you're not even a Christian yourself. So it's all hypocritical. So I'm at this point, I'm about to just stop following that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just join Satanism. I don't even give a fuck no more. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood, here I come, gang. And then also, none of that homo shit. I'm doing blood sacrifice rituals only. I'm sacrificing niggas. Period. I don't give a fuck no more. Because now I'm starting to really think about it. If God was really on your side and all this type of shit, how come all the people who say they Christians and all that shit, yeah, they try to act holy and all that, but when you get behind closed doors or whatever, you really know them, they still doing worldly, demonic shit. And that can't be no worse than somebody that's a Satanist that's worshiping themselves and putting all their talents and stuff into themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because we know it's an infinite source. Because even to be a Satanist or whatever, you have to believe that God is real. You have to believe there's some type of infinite power, obviously. But like I said, the energy could be used for good or bad. And it's crazy because how come, if that's really the case, if everybody in so-called Hollywood is a Satanist, Egyptology and all that shit, how come their life is way more prosperous than people that saying they Christians? I'm just saying, make it make sense. How come people that say they Luciferians and Satanists, how are their lives more prosperous than people that say they Christians, they believe in God, they go to church every day? You go to church every day, but you still sick. You sick and you're dying. You talk shit all day. There's nowhere near close to godly, right? And then look at it like this, right? If this whole Christian shit was so real, how come every motherfucking Christian or somebody that's a pastor that's operating a mega church or even some type of church, how come these people keep getting caught and keep getting arrested for mishandling and lying to their congregation, talking about what they're going to do with the money, spending the money on this and spending the money on that, $50,000 shoes, $100,000 pants and all this shit, $100,000 cars, and the people that's in the congregation, they helped you obviously get the money and shit like that, but they not driving none of that stuff. They just so-called say they coming there for the word of God. You got all this shit, but you still getting busted by the feds. So it don't make sense, bro. It don't make sense. So I'm starting to think it's just used as a form of deception. You see what I'm saying? And that's just really what it is. And I'm also starting to feel like a lot of this shit is just another trap to try to keep me blinded from really what the truth is. Because these people, I ain't gonna really want to go too deep in all this shit, but these people who've been following me, them same Indians, I've been telling you, if you've been following my YouTube, these same individuals, they still like going around following me today, trying to blackball me from different jobs and all this type of shit. But fuck that shit. I work for myself, so. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to actually keep investing in myself. And like I told you, shit, I got shit in the works and the plans. Just because you see me sitting here, that don't mean that I don't have shit in the works and the plans. I'm just sitting here right now. Like, what the fuck? That's how dumb these people is. I run circles around them easily. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm finna be going to Hollywood soon, bro. That's what I'm finna move to. You see what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say, fuck it. You know? So. It is what it is, bro. Like, it really starting to make sense. Well, wake the damn up. More videos coming soon. Gang shit.